Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to start off by giving our praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakak, Barash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yesharala that rule well. And salutations to you, Akim, out there in the highways and the byways, preaching his word in truth and in sincerity. To you, brothers, we say Shalom. This is the Brother Shakal, out here from the GMS Chicago camp.
This is Brother Yahya and Asha.
Coming back at it with another lesson. And basically what we're going to touch on is going to be more, exposing of Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. The video we're about to play really it's an interview that Tucker Carlson, which he himself actually bumped into the Israelites, specifically Elder Apostle Tahar and the brothers, elder brothers over there in New York, and Mike Huckabee, it's he made some good points, and Mike Huckabee was just literally spitting out bullshit. But and a lot of this, it's nonsense, and it also shows how Esau Edom, if you really get the right individuals there to ask the right questions, he has no answer for it, man, and he will quickly get exposed.
Come on.
You'll play the video.
Have you seen this?
Abram's descendants are the ones who have the right to have this land, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we do genetic testing on everybody in the land and find out who Abram's descendants are? It's really simple. We've cracked the human genome.
Right. So now, first things first, one thing that these issues do, they never mention Isaac and Jacob. It's always Abraham's descendants. No, the lineage goes, because Abraham had other descendants that aren't considered Israelites, right? So the land wasn't given to Abraham's descendants; it was given to the chosen line, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's specifically who the promise was to. That's who the land was given, not all of Abraham's descendants. So that, to make that clear, you can't forget about Isaac and Jacob, man. The reason why we're called Israelites is because of Jacob.
That's right.
And when you read Genesis, it tells you the same promise that was given to Abraham was given to Isaac. The same promise that was given to Isaac was given to Jacob. Matter of fact, you know what? There's one in Psalms. If you brothers could get it right quick, it talks about I think at the end it talks about and I made it rest on the head of Jacob. It talks about how the Lord made the covenant with these specific men.
Okay.
And Mike Huckabee is supposed to be a priest or a preacher or something, like a high class, somebody who knows the Bible, yet he didn't correct them there, to say specifically for it goes through Isaac and Jacob. He just said he just agreed with him.
Right. See if we can find it right quick. You said it was in Psalms? Rested on Jacob.
It's in Psalms. Hold
on. You found it? That's a good one.
It's Psalms 105 and 6.
Okay.
You can start at 6.
Yeah, it took me to 10.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 105 and verse 6. O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen.
And there you go, right there. It mentions Abraham, and it mentions Jacob because they're important, man. You know, that's where the promise, the holy seed went through, man. You can't forget about them two, man.
He is Yahweh our power. His judgments are in all the earth. He hath remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham and his oath unto Isaac.
Right. See, it doesn't just mention Abraham. The scriptures, every time the Lord talks about the promises, he mentions the three. You know, or sometimes he just mentions Israel, man, because that's where it ended. You know, and then it you know went down to us, but that's who the last one he made the promise to, and all of Israel's seed, it was gonna go to, man.
Verse 10. Well, I'll read verse 9 again. Which covenant he made with Abraham and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant.
Right. That's the covenant. That's who he made the covenant with. That's who he gave the promises to. Made the promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Not just Abraham. You see, because if you say Abraham's descendant, then that means you're including every single body that Abraham had. No, the chosen seed line went from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. You know, it tells you that the Lord even put by Esau, man, because Esau was the son of Isaac,
Right.
and Ishmael was the son of Abraham. So he put those motherfuckers to the side, and the chosen seed line went through us. So that land is not for them; it's for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That's right.
Their specific descendants, man.
Yeah, and to further clarify, we're gonna get that in Romans, because Romans just tells it plainly. You know what I mean? So it won't be no misconception, because he said, like you just said, all those are not Israel. You know what I mean? It outlines it plainly in Romans. So we'll get this Romans. You know, you finished with that, Chicago?
God.
Let's get this in Romans 9. You know what I mean? Backing up the elder bro. This is Romans 9, and I'm gonna start at 4. It says, man, so much in here. Start at 3. It says, for I wish I would, so like it says, for I could wish myself, so like it says, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, right? So it's talking about the flesh. So this ain't no spiritual thing. It's a bloodline lineage. So you can't say you can come in spiritually either. That rules that out. It says, who are Israelites to whom pertains the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the services of the Most High and the promises, as the elder brothers going into, who are the fathers and of whom concerning the flesh Hamashiach came, who is over all, the Most High, blessed forever. Amen. It says, not as though the word of the Most High have taken an effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. That's what the elder brothers just said. It says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they the children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. It says, that is they which are the children of the flesh. These are the children of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. And, you know, to clarify that it was, like he just said, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, it clearly is going to outline it right down, jumping down to 9. I mean, jumping down.
Right, and right there, it's not saying, because a lot of people will take that and be like, oh, it's talking about spiritual. No, right there, it even said that the Lord doesn't even count certain Israelites as Israelites, man. Why? Because they're living like heathens. So the lineage is to Israel, is to Israel, but not all Israel is gonna get the first go round, man. Why? Because they're acting like heathens. The Lord counts them as heathens, man. So it's specifically to To Israel, man. To Israel that believe, the elect.
Right. To the elect of Israel. That's right. It says, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High may stand according to election, might stand not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto the elder, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. That's plain. Like the elder brother just went to. He put by Esau. So it's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, a bloodline lineage. But on this side, more importantly, the elected for Israel. The rest were blinded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Keep playing the video.
We'll go back to the video.
Yep.
Do that. Why don't we do that? Would you be against doing that?
I have no idea what that would prove. I mean, maybe it would be.
What do you mean? What it would prove who Abram's descendants are and who has a right to live here and who doesn't, according to the theology that you yourself just explained. And so I'm very confused as to why we don't do that. If you believe the theology that you've just explained to me,
would we do that all over the world?
Well,
and everybody
this is the only country in the world that you've said has this covenant with God, that this people have a moral and legal right to the land.
But there are people who may not have bloodlines, but who have converted to Judaism. Are they going to be able to live here? Are you going to kick them out?
By your standards, they can't live here. Because you just told me
that
they have a right to live here because God gave them the land because they're the descendants of Abram.
The descendants of Abraham. But if they're the spiritual descendants of Abraham and they've now decided that they're converting to Judaism, then do they have a right to live in Israel?
Since you began this conversation by asking me, did I think they had a right to come here?
Yeah, that's
and
what
my question was, on what basis do they have the right?
Yeah.
And you said because God granted it to them.
And I also said because that there should be a land where Jews could live in peace and safety.
And I asked you what a Jew was, and you couldn't answer it. You said it partly is religious, but doesn't have to be. It's partly genetic, but it doesn't have to be. And so that you can see why I'm confused.
I think I was very clear.
Bibi's family, we know they lived in Eastern Europe. There's no evidence they ever lived here. He's not religious.
But
in what sense? How do we know that? Do you have his family tree? No, we don't.
Do you?
He doesn't. No one does. That's the point.
But
so how do we know that he has any connection to this land at all?
And if there has been a practice of Judaism and a connection to the language, the Bible, the land.
His ancestors didn't. He doesn't practice Judaism in any rigorous way. His ancestors didn't live here. They didn't speak the language, and there's no evidence they ever lived here. So in the territory that Israel controls today, particularly in the West Bank, who through genetic testing, we can know their families have been here for thousands of years. We don't know whether they practiced Judaism, whether they were Samaritans, pre-Islam. We don't know that. A lot of them we know have been Christians for 2,000 years. They have less of a right to the land than someone whose ancestors, the only thing we know about them is they lived in Latvia or Poland. They're Eastern European. How does that work?
Have you seen this?
Yeah, there you go, and that's how you can also prove that they're not the real people because not a Jew, Bibi, his real name is Mikowski, man, and he's from Poland, and like he said, he doesn't believe. He said he's not religious, so meaning he more than likely doesn't read the Bible. How is he the prime? First of all, there's no prime minister in Israel. The Lord never talks about a prime minister being in our ruling body. Second of all, then I just lost my train of thought. Salakia.
So. Yeah, you're talking about Bibi, you know what I mean? Not practicing a religion, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So and which is already like because the scriptures when you read about an Israelite, they're zealous, they're on fire for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. They're not nonchalant. They're not just whatever, Right. So that's one. And another thing though, if I forget the name of the guy, but he's the founder, one of the founders of the 1948ers and how they got that land. When you go into his history, he was considered an atheist, man. How is it that this nigga these are supposed to be the people, but the ones who founded all this were atheists, were non-believers, They didn't believe in the Bible. You see? So
Right.
like you said, he is getting exposed. You know, all his lies are being exposed, especially this one, that they're not the real people, man. And they're only using this as an excuse to do their bullshit. You know, to have a reason to be over there in West Asia, you know, where people consider the so-called Middle East, which is not, is West Asia. So they could have an excuse to be there and protect all their territory and their goods and control and have control around that area, man. That's the only reason, man. That they're not the real people, man. And it's like right, this video here, it's coming to light, man.
Yeah, I got the guy named David Ben Gurion as you know, it's I went to Google right quick. It says David Ben Gurion as the head of Jewish agency and later Israel's first prime minister led the 1948 establishment of the Jewish statehood. And like you said, we didn't have prime ministers; we had kings ruling over Israel.
Yeah.
So, wasn't no prime minister.
Right.
Yeah. So that nonsense is being exposed, and that's what it's all about. You know, like right now, they, you know, shit, a couple of years back, you know, this would be considered anti-Semitic, so they wouldn't even have this talking point. That's how you know the Lord is exposing them. You know, his time is up.
They can't even use that.
Right. Because he's asking legitimate questions, you know. So and now it's hitting him right where it hurts, right right in his monkey brain. Go ahead. Yeah.
God, this is Habakkuk 2.
No, let's get there's nothing Luke 8:17.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we get to Habakkuk. That shameful spilling on the glory. We'll just Luke right quick. Because it's important that people understand that, you know what I mean, all this stuff is happening because the Lord is, you know, is ordained it, right? So before nobody was even talking about it. They just accepted him as the people. You know what I mean? It's Luke 8:17. Go ahead.
This is Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. And that's what we're seeing right now, man. It's nothing secret that the Lord isn't going to prove, man, and that the Lord isn't going to show. And that's what we're seeing right now, man. All these people, they thought they could push all this under the dirt and hide it forever, but the Lord is showing us, man.
Yeah, they was hiding their lineage. You know what I mean? Hiding who we were, more importantly. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was part of that crafty counsel in Psalms 83. You know what I mean? When we discontinued from our heritage, as the Lord said in Jeremiah 17:4, that crafty counsel was established to further that plot to make sure they cut us off from being a nation. And now they've been exposed that they're not the people of the Lord. So the question then is, if they're not the people of the Lord, who are the people of the Lord? And that's why this exposure is heavy and important. Yeah. And it's, you know, it's a shame to him now. He's been, you know, his shameful spewing on his glory. He was walking around the big bad man, and now the Lord has put the shame to him. And that's how it goes. First the shame, the humiliation, then the removal and destruction.
God, this is Habakkuk 2. I mean, this is 16.
Yeah.
Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
You think these tiny tops want the world to know that they're not the people of the Lord? How much shame is that? To finally be exposed as a wicked rulers that you are, man. Esau, Edom, the board of wickedness. You know, they've been pretending to be the good guys all this time. So this shameful spewing on their glory is making them uncomfortable, uneasy, and that's why we're at war with Iran. They're like, damn that. We don't want to be exposed to Epstein. That's another shame that's hurting them. And now the fact that we're not the people of the Lord, they're getting double the shame right now. And they can't run from it.
Yeah. You got individuals that aren't even with us talking about the Rothschilds. Goes back to it really breaks down to Edom Shield.
God.
You know, so he's getting exposed in all levels, man. The scriptures even say that their own tongue shall fall upon them. So that's an Edomite arguing with another Edomite, man.
Right.
You know, asking the right, you know, somewhat of the right questions. You know, so hey, Esau is being exposed in all levels, man. You know, people are starting to find out that these aren't the people, that they've been on bullshit the whole time. They've been using the same narrative for years, man. If I'm not mistaken, since like the 1800s. Using
Right.
the same bullshit, and it's all coming to the light. It's crazy because lies that have been for hundreds of years are now finally being exposed. Shit that Esau Edom would never have thought of will come to light is coming to the light. But that's how you know that this nigga is falling, man, because that's prophecy, man. He's gonna get exposed first, and once the exposure comes, then the Lord is gonna physically destroy him, man.
And that's so beautiful to watch it unfold. You brothers been out there laboring for a long time, and it's just beautiful to watch, him being made bare, and then the Lord showing his shame, man.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
You get a second. What is it? 2 Thessalonians 2.
Yeah.
When it talks about the man of perdition.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2.
And I'll start at 3.
And I'll start at 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Right, and the falling away already came. We're just coming back to our heritage. We already fell out. So it says what now is what, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, and that man of sin, son of perdition is being revealed. Everybody's starting to realize that this individual is wicked as all hell. And everything he does and he touches he destroys it, man. And we're also seeing that he, not just the way he is, his character and what he's done, but also his identity, who he is, which is Esau Edom. That's being also exposed too, and it's only gonna get worse for him, man. People soon are not just gonna say, are just gonna know that he's wicked and he's done all these atrocities and he has all this violent history. They're gonna know that that's the nation of Edom as well, man. And that's really when you expose this devil, man, because this man's been running from that name for a long time.
Yeah. Yep. And that perdition, like you said, goes into the man of destruction. Who's done more destruction in the world than this devil? He's been in office 12 months and he's attacked 9 nations: Syria, Libya, Afghanistan, Venezuela, Iran. So he is truly showing his horns.
And that's just this year.
That's this year.
That's just this past year.
Right. So that's just this past year. He just got in office and already he's attacked 9 different countries. If that's not the man of perdition, man of destruction, who is? Who else is running around attacking people?
That's it.
Verse 4: Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Right, and who has that spirit? Who walks around being the police of the world, acting like the police of the world? Who pushed heavily the atheism? I don't believe in God and believe in yourself and believe in science. Who pushes more to trust in modern medicine, than the Lord. Right. To trust in technology. You were born without being able to hear. Well, look, I'll put this and now you can hear. Who's acting like that? Is Esau Edom the self-proclaimed white man? All these signs only point to that person. If we ask somebody without even saying a race, and we mention his character and the things that he's done, everybody automatically, even if they don't follow, they're just gonna think of the self-proclaimed white man, because that's the only that's who it only applies to. That's who it only that's the only nation who's done and moves around like this, man.
Right.
You know, you ask a motherfucker, okay, what kind of animal quacks and does this noise and all that? They're gonna say automatically without saying the name of the animal. Oh, that's a duck. You know that's exactly Esau Edom, man.
Con.
You know everything how the Lord exposes him and how He shows. It's only one person that fits this, man.
Con. And I just want to correct who he's attacked. So he attacked 12 months. He attacked Iraq, Nigeria, Somalia, Yemen, Syria, Iran, and Venezuela. You know what I mean? That's who he's attacked. Unprovoked. Go ahead. and now Iran.
Yeah.
Okay. Verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And
Right, and
then
back then, who was working? Who was the mystery of iniquity working? That was Esau Edom, the Romans. They were in power back then,
Yep.
and so only he who let it will let until he be taken out of the way. So the Most High has been letting him get away with all this, you know, for a reason. But they like the scriptures say, he has set bounds that he cannot pass, and he's reaching those bounds. So he's soon to be taken out of the way. And I'll say right here, you know, when you keep reading, but the first sign of knowing he's falling is him being exposed.
Con.
verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Right, there you go. Destroy with the spirit of his mouth, exposing him through this word. You know, so now that he's being exposed, now that he's being destroyed with his word, it's now that means the Lord is coming soon, man. The fact that this is happening and the fact that we're literally in the start of World War III and all these other prophecies are manifesting themselves, you know, at the same time, it's not a coincidence. These are all signs the Lord is near. He's about to come, man.
That's right. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Keep reading.
No, I think, yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. And this was like the elder brother said, that was a time for him to be exposed, and now it's a time for him to be brought down. And we're watching it unfold in real time. But like you said, the Lord had to expose him so everybody could see who he really is. You got anything else, Kyle?
Yeah, because in that video, the nigga was talking about spiritual Israel. Well, if somebody is spiritual, if Abraham's descending spiritually, well, when they convert to Judaism, they could be part of the land. There's no such thing as a spiritual Israelite, man. And there, what else he was talking about? Fucking
DNA
everybody
test.
get huh?
Yeah, everybody get the DNA test and stuff.
The DNA test and all this bullshit. Even if that was the case, like our seed has, you know, you can't, based on Esau's signs, you can't, you even with that, you can't prove who's an Israelite, man. You know, they'll just say you're half this and half that and 30% this and 20% that and all this bullshit.
Right.
But I really wanted to touch on the point where he talked about because there's a lot of shit in that video that was off. You know, them supposedly Mike Huck could be calling himself a priest or a preacher and following the Bible. If he was on point, he would have corrected him, and he would have never spit none of that madness. But yeah, there's no such thing as a spiritual Israelite, man. A heathen cannot just be like, "Oh, I'm a spiritual Israelite." No, man. You have to be first and foremost of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, but also follow the Lord in truth and in sincerity. That's a true Israelite.
Huh.
You know that when scriptures refer to, you know, like for example, the scriptures talk about, but one that is a Jew inwardly, that yeah, and not it's like something along those lines where it talks about a Jew being inwardly and not outwardly. That's not talking about appearance. It's talking about a spirit, spiritually, meaning you can't. It's not just about you looking and your bloodline going to Israel. It's about you acting like an Israelite. You got to have both. You can't just act like an Israelite because you just can't. If you're a heathen, you can't follow the Lord, or you're not gonna follow the Lord like a true Israelite would.
And to most
So
importantly, like you said, it's to the elect. It's because all Israel is not it's not all Israel. That's what we just read in Romans. So
and that's what that Romans is talking about when it talks about not a Jew outwardly but inwardly. It's talking about following the Lord in the spirit, not an actual other heathen just being a spiritual Israelite. No, man.
right.
Yeah, go ahead. You can get it.
Romans 2:28, for he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of Yahweh.
Right. So there's no point in you being circumcised if you're still going to be acting like a heathen. Being circumcised doesn't make you an Israelite, follow the Lord. What does is you changing inwardly and applying these words to the best of our ability, and your lineage going back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's what this is referring to. This is not talking about a spiritual heathen who's a spiritual Israelite. Like it literally said it right there. It's talking about right there specifically. It's talking about circumcision. Just because you get circumcised doesn't mean that now you're considered a man of the Lord.
Right.
No, it's you renewing your mind, your spirit.
Right. Yeah, you just can't convert. He said, I've chosen you. You didn't choose me. So you just can't convert. Yeah, that's not going to fly. That's that old stupid Christian doctrine. I accept him as my savior. That's not how that goes.
The Lord already made clear who his people is, man.
Right.
But to prove the point, you had another one?
No, go ahead. What you got?
Hebrews 8:8. Because that one right there, this is in the New Testament. It clearly says only Israel. It doesn't mention the other heathen, man. Because it was never for them, and they can't convert. They can't say, "Oh, I want to be an Israelite." No, you can't.
Right.
This is Hebrews 8:8. For finding fault with them, he said, "Behold, the days come," said Yahweh, "when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah."
Come on, plain and simple. Go ahead.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said Yahweh.
Right. So, and who was given the covenant in Egypt when we got out of Egypt? Only the Israelites. So the Lord is good. Since we went off, he didn't say he was going to cast us off forever and just start letting all the heathen in. No, because now he had to give us this new covenant so we could stay under his mercy, so we could continue being his people, man.
That's right.
And this a covenant, like it says right here, it was only to us, man. It never went to the heathens. Go ahead.
Verse 10, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people.
Right. He doesn't mention any other nation. And again, this is in the New Testament. Go ahead.
And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, can you read?
Yeah, keep reading.
For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. And that he said, a new covenant he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish.
Right. Come on, there you go. And it only mentions Israel, it doesn't mention the other nations. So there is no such thing as a spiritual Israelite, a heathen that's a spiritual Israelite that decided to convert. No, man. So again, Mike Huckabee, he's supposed to be this expert in the Bible. Why didn't he bring this out, man?
Facts.
And I believe you read in Romans 9 where it talks about who pertain to promises.
Right.
You know, the covenants, plural. You know, so what is that nigga talking about, man? Like I said, Tucker Carlson, you know, he's what do you call it, control opposition. He's in there with them niggas, but Esau is not gonna be, if he gets one of us, he's not gonna be able to know what to say, because we're gonna bring out scriptures, we're gonna bring out points, history. He's not, you know, he can't handle the truth, man. He's not gonna be able to know what to do.
Facts.
You know, so hey, E is getting exposed. All his bullshit is not working anymore. You know, so it's only a matter of time until he gets taken out the way, man. But this just shows that we're really, really close, man.
Come. Yep. Yeah, you got something else to call?
If y'all don't got anything, we could end it with Isaiah 59 as the last verse, where the Lord talks about how he's going to keep his word within our seed and our seed.
This is Isaiah 59 and 21.
Well, shit, start at you start at 29. No, Salakia 19.
God, this is Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him.
Go ahead.
And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith Yahweh.
Come on. The Redeemer is going to come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob. Not the world, not everybody, in Jacob. Those that repent, those that are Jew inwardly, right? Not just being circumcised and looking, but inwardly, and their bloodline going to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Go ahead.
As for me, this is my covenant with them, saith Yahweh, my spirit.
With who? With Jacob, with Zion, with the Israelites. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, my spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, saith Yahweh, from henceforth and forever.
From henceforth and forever, man. So the covenant, the law, his words, all this is going to be with us and our seeds and our seeds from henceforth and forever, man. So there's no such thing as a fucking spiritual Israelite that's a heathen converting to us, man.
That's a banger right there, baby.
That's it, you know. I mean, in the kingdom, they're going to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, but that's because they have to. We're going to be the ones ruling, but they're not going to be converting and being in the kingdom with us, enjoying it up, man. Not at all, man.
Right.
They're going to be under our authority. They're going to be under all rules. The scriptures talk about that the good deed shall be of force and wicked deeds shall bear no rule.
That's right.
You know, but yeah, that's all I had.
All right, that's it. Go ahead. We ended on that one.
Con. All right, so hey, hopefully burn wetified, just something that was in our spirit. You know, back again with another Friday lesson. You know, we're gonna end it by giving our praises and glory to Yahweh, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Barash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yesharada that rule well, and salutations to you, Akim, out there in the highways and the byways, preaching his word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom, and a Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.